YouTube found community, Beach Boys fans, random people on the internet. My name is Giggens. We're here today to talk about an album that has pretty much fallen into obscurity over the last 25 years. Symphonic Sounds, music of the Beach Boys, the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, Mike Love, Bruce Johnston, and special guests. Bet you haven't seen this one before. Or if you have, it's been a long time. Obviously, the Philharmonic Orchestra would come up again on the 2018 release, but this album in particular, it just disappeared. It had like a one-time printing, and that was it. It's never been heard from ever again. I mean, there's close to nothing on the internet about this record, so I was happy to cover it. It came out July 28th, 1998. It's almost exactly 20 years to the day when the other one came out in 2018 on CD and cassette. And as the story goes, Bruce Johnston met Steve Devick, who was the CEO of Platinum Entertainment, if I can talk correctly there. One of his labels, River North, put out Stars and Stripes a mere 2 years earlier, which is weird to say that like Stars and Stripes was a brand new album at one point. And he asked Bruce if he'd be interested in producing an album of symphonic arrangements of the Beach Boys. He was a huge fan of their music and wanted to see something come out of it. This thing was done at Abbey Road, mind you. This is like a really professionally done album. Bruce was like, yes, of course. Let me arrange people here. So Bruce picked out the songs. He went through all of his favorites. And there's a couple of random ones on here. Like the initial orchestra features a bit of Friends, which is pretty cool. And he knew that he wanted some songs to have vocals on them. So he called up Mike, Matt Jardine, Tammy Trent, Adrian Baker. And they got together and did this record. Bob, I'm going to butcher his last name, I'm sorry, Alcivar, maybe that's how you pronounce it. He got chosen to arrange and conduct the music and orchestrate it all. He was allowed to change the keys, change the tempo. He basically was told, do what you want, make it flow. And then Keith Weschler is the engineer. He was hired to basically create the soundstage of this thing. So it has more of an enveloping approach. So it's not just straight at you. It kind of has like a swirling effect, which these days we kind of call Atmos. Some of the other engineers on here, there is someone named Steve Levine. I'm not sure if it's the Steve Levine. Pretty cool. But tons of touring Beach Boys are on this thing from the classic days. Ed Carter, Mike Kowalski, Billy Hinchy, Mike Meros. I mean, they're all here. Bruce Johnston came up with a cover concept, and then a guy named Ron Anderson drew it. It's also dedicated to both Dennis, Audrey, and Carl Wilson. So this album, it feels like it wants to be a lot of fun. And there are moments that I really, really enjoy. But by the time you get to that last part, track 9, it's called the Water Planet Suite. And it's a 23-minute suite. And it's a lot to take in. And as you're sitting there listening to it, you kind of forget that the other tracks were fun. And that's just my opinion, by the way. Obviously it's the Philharmonic Orchestra, extremely talented players. It's boisterous, it's huge, it's also very, very quiet. These people are masters of dynamics. It's really fun to have Mike sing Kokomo in 1998. They have a studio vocal of Mike doing Kokomo. 98 is really cool. I'm getting ahead of myself. Track 1 is the overture, and it's a 4-minute little romp through a handful of surf tracks and a couple of deep cuts. Like I said, Friends is on there. Cool little introduction. Gets the job done. It's not overwhelming. It's not too much to handle. It's a nice little intro. And then you get Kokomo, which works fairly well with the symphonic treatment. And Mike's new vocal is also really nice as well. God Only Knows, Tammy Trent does the vocal on this one. She does a good job, nothing to really write home about, but it's just sounds like God Only Knows, Wouldn't It Be Nice has Michael Thompson on lead guitar, and there's not a whole lot of guitars in this thing, but when they do pop up, they're pretty cool. So I enjoyed that one. Then Disney Girls, Bruce does the lead vocal on that. So again, pretty cool to have Bruce Johnston in 1998 doing Disney Girls. Darlin' works really well with Matt Jardine on lead vocals. It's funny because on the back it says, introducing Matt Jardine. This may have been his first recorded project. Well, I think he's on the Stars and Stripes album too in the background. But as far as a lead vocal, probably this is the first one. But I think he does a great job on Darlin' here. There's a couple of moments where he makes it his own. And he sells it for me. I think it sounds fun. Track 7 is called Just for Fun, All Surf, with 2 exclamation points. That's the Beach Boys thing, 2 exclamation points. And I really enjoy this one. It's mostly a rock band feel that has vocals popping up here and there. There aren't vocals the whole way through it. They just kind of creep in randomly, which is kind of fun. You don't know when to expect them, but it basically sounds like a rock band with the orchestra behind it, and it's kind of cool. The Warmth of the Sun has Adrian Baker doing a very Fourth Freshman-esque vocal layering on this, which sounds pretty cool. It is a very faithfully done Fourth Freshman sound, so he nails that. And then track 9, like I said, is the Water Planet Suite, which is 23 minutes and 24 seconds long. And it starts off with Heroes and Villains, which actually does have a bit of that Smile version tag, where it's got like that, I can't sing, but it's got a little bit at the end, which you only hear on Smile, which is kind of cool. Kind of a tougher, gruffer version of Help Me Rhonda. And then it gets real quiet for a long time with Wouldn't It Be Nice, God Only Knows, Surfer Girl, In My Room, Warmth in the Sun. It kind of just chills for a very long time. It doesn't change too much. You Still Believe in Me kind of picks it back up again. Then Caroline No, then it ends with Good Vibrations. But the only hiccup I have with this album is that there are repeated motifs of, and I say that because I know that's what they're going for. Warmth of the Sun is on here 3 times. God Only Knows is on here 3 times. There are things they could have changed to put different songs on here. It's funny going back in time, looking at really ancient Amazon reviews. Someone said, instead of Kokomo, put Sumahama on there. I don't know, that'd be interesting for an orchestra kind of treatment. That'd be kind of cool. Or maybe like a really calm, good time, and it would be cool. Anyways, the fact is, I feel like this is something that has popped up over the years of the Beach Boys. The Beach Boys always end up playing with the symphony somewhere on tour. So they appreciate their music with that treatment, which is kind of cool. It's definitely a testament to, I'm going to put it this way, smart people music and rock and roll. It's kind of like, oh, well, our music's getting the smart person treatment by getting the orchestral work done. It's one of those things where it's like, no, it's taken seriously. It's an orchestra, because rock and roll, I don't think will ever be taken seriously, but orchestras will, because it's the older music. It's been around for a long time. Ugh, boring. Anyways, it's an interesting listen. It's not something I'm going to gravitate towards that often. It's as much as the cover artwork is goofy and cheesy, I kind of like it, but I think if they had done something different with the album cover, it would have had maybe a better chance of being quote-unquote taken seriously. A lot of work went into this album, and like I said, it was done at Abbey Road, so it was like a big-time studio here. But there's like nothing exists about this album. It literally came out and then disappeared, gone, raptured. Everyone forgot about it. And listening to it, like I said, I don't know how often I'm going to come back to this thing. This was new to me. I didn't know about this thing. And I've studied the Beach Boys hard. And this thing is just slips through the cracks. July 98 and then gone. So if you bought this album when it came out, please tell me what you thought about it. What do you think about it? Do you ever play it? Did you keep it? Did it go into the pile for the thrift store? And if you've discovered it in the last 25 years, what are your thoughts on it? Because there's really not much to know besides Bruce got invited to do this project. Bruce found people to do the project with him, and he executive produced it. Or he's an album producer, I should say. But Steve was the executive producer. It's an interesting curio of the Beach Boys' career. It came out in 1998, the same year that produced the NASCAR album, the same year that we lost Carl and Audrey, the same year that Al left the Beach Boys or got fired or whatever happened. It's that year, 1998, man. Fascinating year. So yeah, I'm getting off topic here, but if you've heard this record, tell me what you think about it, and I would love to hear your thoughts, because there are great moments on here, for sure, but there are also moments that you're just like, oh, this thing's 23 minutes long, like, are we gonna get anywhere here? Which isn't to say there's no skill or artistry here, it's just like, it sounds a little samey after a while. But again, I'm a rock and roll kid, so, this is a little out of my ballpark here, but let me know what you think. So as for a rating goes, honestly, I'm probably going to give it like a 5 or a 6 out of 10. I mean, it's not something I'm ever going to play often. That version of Wouldn't It Be Nice is cool with the guitars doing the lead vocal. Matt doing Darlin' sounded great. But beyond that, I'm not going to put this on too often. I mean, the other one that came out in 2018, I don't know if I've played it since, to be honest with you. It's just one of those things where like their music works the way it works as a rock group, and then when you throw other things onto it, sometimes it works. You know, maybe this would have been better as an EP or something. But you know, it's cool that it exists, and it's cool that we have this to listen to and appreciate, or try to figure out where the guys were at this point. Just as a project in and of itself, it's kind of cool. So 5 or 6 out of 10. Yeah. What do you guys think about symphonic sounds? Let me know your thoughts. My name is Giggens. This has been the Philharmonic Orchestra and Beach Boys-ish, kind of. What was left of them at that point, between firings and everything else. Symphonic sounds, music of the Beach Boys. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. My name is Giggens. I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.